My wife and I are victims of massive fraud by the Commonwealth Bank staff, lawyers, receivers and others. And I'm going to show you some documents today. First of all, it is the Rigg report. It's on the list of documents on the yellow list on the left-hand side. This is a 4-page document. This is it, worth a read. And from that, I was able to give a submission to the House of Representatives Standing Committee on Finance and Public Administration. My whole submission was about 1,800 pages, but all that was released was 334 pages. It's all here. Massive corruption in the Commonwealth Bank. And it covers Rigg, Taylor and Batiste case. Worth a read. And I like to show you this document. It's got applied troublesome interest, and he goes on to say, no advice to Riggs, don't send bank statements, of course the Riggs are not to be told. And you look at the interest rates, up to 25.5% interest. Now this is straight out fraud. Now this is shadow ledgers that would charge to my wife and I over $500,000 and up to 25.5% interest. Again, fraud. And there's no evidence whatsoever of those two charges in my submission to the Standing Committee on Finance and Public Administration. I have a very good document here. It's a sick document. It's to the Group Communications Head Office, New South Wales. It was signed by D.T. Catherwood, Chief Manager, Lending Services. The relevant sentence reads, given that there has been previous suicides. Now this document proves that the Commonwealth Bank staff are admitting to causing death by suicide. And believe me, there's been lots of suicides caused by the bank, by the Commonwealth Bank. This is a document. I'll read the address. 18 DA Rigg, B.J. Fowler, Manager of Lending Services, Commonwealth Bank, Sydney. This proves that the Shoalhaven City Council assisted the Commonwealth Bank with the theft of our home. All these documents are on the list. And this is an appointment of receiver. The receiver was appointed with Stephen Henderson Rogers, formerly of L.J. Hookers and Nara. It was appointed by fraud. This unsigned document. Now this is an extremely important document. It is the coronation oath of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, sworn 2nd of June 1953. It's number 61 on the list. Now Her Majesty has guaranteed all her subjects justice and mercy in her judgments. What that means is all officers of the Crown must act in accordance with Her Majesty's coronation oath. Sadly, some of our officers of the Crown have abandoned their oaths of office, and that includes some of our judges. Because when we've been to court, when we first started, judges from day one struck out our subpoenas, stopped us having discovery of critical documents, denied us access to documents on a notice to produce. The same judges then wrote judgments against us. In other words, our case has never been heard. Now this is a very interesting document on the list. Miss President, everybody must read that. This is another very important document. We were tricked into signing the settlement agreement to pay the bank $980,000, but we'd only borrowed $750,000, and we knew nothing about the criminal fraud of troublesome interest and shadow ledgers. And also two barristers agree we were paying up to 50% interest on the loan that was supposed to be 5 to 6% interest. Yeah, there's over 100% interest. Could you pay that? And there's the document there. When we signed the settlement agreement, it's a handwritten note by a former lawyer, Angus Broad, and it reads, Alston, phoning demanded an additional $80,000 to settle. Now that's blackmail. And this document here, this is from BJ Fowler, team leader and New South Wales Lending Service. It says that we owe the bank $2.6 million. Now how on earth could we owe that amount when we paid everything on time? As far as we know, we cannot get the evidence. But remove all the illegal interest rates and we're never in default. And I just don't understand what the bank is up to. And I have enough evidence that I could sit in a witness box for at least a month. And this is just some of this is the evidence that's on the list of on the yellow column. And I can increase this 20-fold, 50-fold. We've got files everywhere and they're secure, of course, because I have heard of people that have had the houses broken into and their critical documents stolen. That's how bad it is. And I suggest that everybody reads number 9 and number 10 on the list, and number 41, 42 and 43 are very, very interesting documents. And what else can I say except that all our properties must be returned with all the rents plus damages. And please, when you listen to this, I should say, please forward it on to anyone, your politicians and anyone at all. So I'll wrap up now, and my next video I will go into a lot more documents. Thank you, and please pass it on.